Design Sips, where I raise a glass to you, design entrepreneurs looking to level up your businesses. So, today we are talking about how to boost profits with refined processes. Processes, profits. Yes, they go together. All right. I am opening a little wine because it's Design Sips, people. Now, why do we drink wine while we talk about the business of design? I'll tell you. So, number one, I like wine. So there. Number two, I have been in this beautiful interior design industry for over 20 years, and my goal is to leave it better than I found it. So I want to help improve the interior design industry by sharing what I know and by making sure that we all collaborate together. I want to help you run a better business, right? I want to help you make sure that you are highly valued and getting paid accordingly. And I want to see all designers band together and rise together. How about that? All right, so today I am trying out an organic wine. I said I would, and I am. Frey Organic White California White Table Wine. Frey, let's do this thing. Honestly, we could help you with your marketing. But I hope the wine is good. Cheers. Ooh, it is. It's good. And it does have those little natural bubbles, which frankly are so fun. Okay, cheers to that. So, one of the things about seeing our industry rise and about all helping each other is that it has literally been the honor of my life to have over 400 interior designers doing just that with my business master plan, the Interior Design Standard. Literally incredible. It is the tactics and templates that I've developed and use in my own design firm, House of Funk, all of these years. But today we've got some questions and we are going to dig in, and please keep those questions coming. Like I said, my goal is to leave our industry better than I found it, and that's by answering questions and lifting one another up. One interaction, one question, one Design Sips episode, one trip to market at a time. All right, let's dig in. Okay, cheers to that. So, Amber asks, how do you systematize design projects when every project is different? So I literally used to think that every design project was completely unique and different, and there's no way that I could ever do that thing that I love to do, which is create a really defined process, step by step, and refine it, right? And refining and making a process more efficient equals more profitability, right? So when you take out the double work and you take out the ambiguity and you get every single detail that you need from the clients right from that first intake meeting, instead of over and over again, back and forth, phone call, conversation, we've got to swing back over and get another dimension. We've got to swing back over and match the paint colors. We've got to swing back over and take the dimensions for all the furniture. What if instead you thought it through, you wrote it down, you did it all right the first time, and you literally got back to your office after that first initial intake with everything that you need to move through the next step and the next step and the next step? Absolutely possible. What it takes is documenting that system, looking for the efficiencies, the places to refine it and make it better, and looking for any redundancies, right? Figuring out, like, where can we batch all the client information we need? Where can we batch all the data that we need from a job site all into that first meeting? And we can have a checklist and make sure that every single thing that we need is done upon leaving that job site. And it really does help you move so much faster. And of course, the more clients that you can move through this process, right, the more clients you can take on. So, it is so crazy important to go ahead and create those systems, document them, look for those efficiencies, and keep it moving. Cheers to that. More efficient equals more profit, people. I'm coming around. I think I might be an organic wine girl, just so you guys know. All right. Oh, speaking of, let me know, drop me a comment or a DM or an email or send a balloon to my house. If you have found organic wine that you love, I now need to hear about it because I am jumping on the bandwagon, but I like really good wine. So you see what I'm saying? Keep it coming. Okay, next question. Jenny asks, my clients seem to need a ton of revisions. It has to be affecting my bottom line. How do you avoid this? Okay, 100%. I was there. I was swimming in the revision pool. It's like all I freaking did for a long time. And then in addition to all the other reasons that I pulled over and made a better plan, one of those things was how do we move through interior design in an efficient way where decisions are held, right? My feeling is that you're hiring my eye, you're hiring my aesthetic, and you're hiring my project management skills, right? My ability to move a project from idea to reality is huge. That's a huge part of what we do. So it's really important for that client to trust you and not be constantly changing their mind or second guessing, right? Or having decision paralysis. So one of the things that we came up with when we really sat down and think tanked how to make this better and documented those systems and refined was a very, very thorough and complete intake, right? Where we ask all the crazy questions and we measure everything and we take pictures of everything and like we're measuring and documenting things that we can't even imagine needing because you know what? You need it when it's all said and done. If you're working in the room, you should know where every outlet is, where every vent is. You should know the height of the crown. It doesn't matter if you don't think you need it now. When you get back into that design process and you start to have original and interesting creative ideas, you want to know all of your parameters and you want all of that at your fingertips. So going all the way, right? And then all that intake, all that creative juices flowing. Now, before you get crazy, before you start getting quotes and pulling every fabric known to man and spending hours and hours and hours in CAD, before you go too far down that path, we have what's called the conceptual design meeting. A lot of you do it. It is so crazy important that you do that early on, that you design just enough to explain what your vision is, right? Design, draw, put together inspiration boards, pulled in Pinterest images. I don't care how you express your vision. Beautiful hand drawing, of course. I don't have that skill. I don't care how you express your vision, but just enough to get the point across of what you're trying to do very clearly to your clients and a more realistic budget of how that's going to look, what that's going to cost. So that could mean having a phone call with your stone guys. That could mean walking the GC through the site and talking about removing a wall. Whatever it's going to take so that you can get a high level vision and a high level investment on what it's going to cost the client. Have that conceptual design meeting as early in the project as you can. Get all your ideas together, get your whole thing. For me, it's about 2 months from intake to be able to turn around and present our conceptual design with taking into account the time it's going to take my vendors and trades. First, I have to have all those ideas. Then I have to get them documented enough for my vendors and trades to understand them. Then I have to show my vendors and trades. Then I have to get some ballpark estimates back from them. Now, 2 months might seem too tight right now with everyone's schedule so crazy. Absolutely. Go long. When you're estimating how long this is going to take, say it's going to take longer than you think. And then, of course, you can always come in ahead of schedule. But it is so crazy important to make sure that your high level vision is on path with where the client wants to go. Aesthetically, layout wise, always important to check the functionality of the spaces that you're designing with them. And of course, with that furnishings investment or that labor investment, if you're doing a renovation or a build as well. So clarifying all those points is the best possible way not to get stuck in revision hell. Because if you have buy-in, layout, general aesthetic direction and how much they're going to spend on it, and you get like confirmation from them in writing that that's approved, my rule of thumb is they're in the next design phase. We are not available to roll back any of those original decisions. So we are not available to go back to a new aesthetic direction. So if we were doing mid-century modern, we are not available to go into farmhouse traditional any at this point without a new design fee and a new timeline. We are not available once that layout has been set to go back into that conversation and start rearranging the room, rearranging the walls, rearranging, right? This solidifies, clarifies, and also and if somebody really wants to go back to the drawing board, you can say, no problem, we are now going to do a whole new design agreement, starting over again, starting a new conceptual design meeting and the new timeline accordingly. I need a new fee to augment the fact that we're starting again, and I need to start all over again on that timeline. Or potentially all over again, depending on how much is changing. But you see how getting buy-in and getting decisions made as you go along will help you from getting to detailed design, where every single product is proposed, every little detail, every fabric, every finish, all those details are hashed together. You would be so far out on a limb if you had done mid-century and they really want farmhouse traditional, right? It would be start over, and would you have a leg to stand on to ask for additional fees? Depends how your contract's worded. So very, very important, but it's really important too to have a set amount of revisions built into your agreement. Okay, so not only getting buy-in as you go through conceptual to detail, but also having a specific amount of revisions written into your contract. So what that means to me is I have one round of revisions at one time, communicated within about 1 week of the meeting, is what's included in my contract. Okay, if you get outside of 1 week from the meeting or outside of the one round of revisions, you are now in, could be an additional design fee, could be an additional timeline to redo that, or I'm simply not available to do those revisions because we are, the project has moved past that, right? So you really need to be clear, and you need to be able to say no, or here's the additional fee and timeline if you do want to take on the additional scope or the additional revisions. So, okay, those are my thoughts on how to make sure that you don't get your bottom line taken for a ride when it comes to a client who wants to make revisions, okay? What do I always say about scope creep? Scope creep is a beautiful thing. It takes you further and deeper into an existing relationship with a client you've already vetted and taught how you work, okay? I see design revisions as scope creep, okay? I see them as more opportunity to do more design work with clients that I already know and love. If a client is taking it and just winding it and winding it and winding it, and things are getting crazy, that's where I have the option to say, I'm no longer doing another round of revisions. I don't want an additional design fee. I don't want a new timeline. I don't want to keep hacking at the same project that has lost its design integrity because it's been unwound with so many revisions. That's also an opportunity there, right? To take a polite exit and just say, I've given you my very best. We're now on revision 1, 2, 3. I no longer believe in the options beyond my first choice, my second choice, what have you. And again, I always am giving my client the original presentation, one round of revisions in conceptual, and then the original design presentation and one round of revisions in detailed, okay? So there's a lot of opportunity for back and forth and discussion. It just needs to be in a timely manner and in an efficient way so that they are happy, and I can run a firm that can, in fact, have a happy bottom line and provide design options to my clients. It has to work for everyone, okay? We're not in business to get our heart broken constantly or to feel taken advantage of. That's not the gig. We write the rules. It's our business. We need to stand behind what works for us and be firm and loving with all of those boundaries. Okay, I think we should drink to all of that. Thoughts? Yeah, baby. Okay, last question, people. Who's ready? Anne asks, I struggle with tracking all the communication between my team and the clients. How do you stay on top of this and make sure that you catch all the details? All right. This is like crazy important, and I'm just like bringing it home in my head because I'm ready to tell you what's up. Um, First things first, in your potential client process, in your design agreement, right, in your contract, it is really, really important for you to clarify the communication that's appropriate and acceptable in your firm. For instance, I had little kids when I first started this business, right? I went out on my own a couple of years before I started a family, very much intentionally, so that I would have that flexibility. So I had little children in the house, and I had a lot of communication coming at me from a lot of different projects. And what I found was that text messages always got lost in the shuffle. Okay. They were coming in and they were going straight, like my kids were playing games on my phone, or I was running around, it was the middle of the night. I'm giving somebody a bottle and I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And, once you read a text message, it's gone. Like in my world, it's gone. Like there's no flag telling me that there's an unread message. There's nothing I need to get back to. So I let my clients know right away, don't text me. Even if I end up giving you my phone number because I'm meeting you at the stone yard or I'm meeting you at the antiques place, like even if you have my cell phone number, do not text me. It is a black hole. I will not respond. And what I have done in the past, if it has happened accidentally early in a client relationship, is on Monday morning at 8 a.m., I respond with, please move this communication to an email where I'm sure it's not going to get lost in the shuffle. Do not answer it. Do not answer anything over the weekend or in your off hours, right? We're creating a container of what's acceptable in your firm and what gets done and what happens, okay? So then for me, same thing. Calling my cell phone is a no. I never, ever, 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 ever answer my cell phone. It's just not something that I do. I don't know when or where that started, but it is real. My husband constantly makes fun of me for it. Sorry, honey. It's just not, in my mind, it's just not a phone. Like it's not. It's a method of communication. It's a million things. It's just not a phone. If you need to call someone, you call my office line, right? During office hours. The most wonderful way is to meet, right? Either via Zoom, looking in their eyeballs, even if it's not ideal, or of course in person. I love to meet in person or via Zoom. Of course, whenever you are meeting, it's really important to take meeting minutes and then write those up at the end and email them as written confirmation of what was discussed and decided in any in-person or Zoom meetings, okay? Must be done. You cannot later say, oh yes, but we talked on the phone and there was a decision. That won't hold water, okay? It won't hold water with holding someone accountable. But if you talked on the phone, made a decision, wrote that down, dated it, and sent it in an email to confirm, it was so great speaking to you. I'm so glad we made the decision to approve the conceptual design meeting as presented. Boom, you now have written confirmation that no one, they can hit reply and say, no, that's not what I said. Or it can now be confirmed as what you've decided together. So, okay, phone calls, in person, Zoom meetings, whatever, totally cool. Take notes. Send those minutes as a follow-up to confirm. All right, and then my next favorite, easy, don't need to take notes, is email communication, right? Let me know what you need. I'll let you know my response. We're keeping track of everything in writing as we go. Awesome. Of course, any of the big presentations, any big meetings, anytime I'm trying to close a sale, land the job, sell my designs, of course I'm doing that in person, right? Those are not emails. Emails are, hey, the installer is available on Tuesday. Does Tuesday work for you? Yes, no, blah, 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 right? Okay, we're not making big decisions in emails or presenting anything large in an email, but a lot of communication happens in the back and forth. Okay, my next most important thing, I already touched on it a little bit earlier, is batching. God, I wanted to say the B word again right there. Okay, batching. So not only batching what you need at every touch point and making sure you have a checklist and making sure you get it all so that you're not running around like a little chicken, but batching your communication back and forth with your client. So all week long, we have things coming in, right? We've got vendor information. We've got new quotes coming in. We've got client requests. We've got things are happening. There's a lot of emails and a lot of communication going around all the time. But what works so beautifully is that while we gobble up all that info and we move through whatever needs to be moved through that week, if there's an emergency, a real one, we will hit reply and handle it, pick up the phone, jump right in, right? Anything that is not an on-fire emergency gets responded to once a week in the weekly email. We do ours on Friday. It just makes me happy. Our clients have time over the weekend to process, read. If their work week is totally bananas, they usually have a little time for the home projects like design over the weekend. And often on Monday morning, I have responses back from my clients. I know any questions that I have for them, I have an answer to. Any, things that we're trying to schedule or work out, we have a response. It's perfection. Okay. So once a week, I respond unless it is a hair on fire emergency. Otherwise, they know every week they're going to get that weekly email, same day, right? They're always going to get the latest status update. They're always going to get a confirmation of the next meeting on our schedule. They're always going to get a confirmation of project schedule, what's coming, any open orders, any open decisions, anything, right? And we just have that same draft and we are updating it in Asana all week long. So on Friday, I'm not running around going, what do we need to tell client B? Do we have any news for client B? Does anybody know what shipped? Do we know what's happening? Does anybody know? Does anybody know? All week long, we're updating that template. And then Friday, reviewing it, making sure there's no duplications or any final minute updates, and out it goes, okay? So as I get status, expediting reports, as I hear back from a vendor, successful install, as, update that client communication all week long. Give it a final zoom and out it goes every Friday, okay? It literally will change the tempo of the communication in your firm. You are no longer beholden to hit reply to every email that comes in. You are handling them in a systematic way. And on Friday, you are dispersing all updated information. It feels so good. Cheers. Alrighty. So that's what I had for you people. Do you feel like you could be more efficient? Are you ready to boost your profits with your refined processes? All right, I really want to hear from you. Tell me in the chat which of these, what's the first step that you're going to take to boost your profits with regard to refining your processes? What you got? Let me know. Okay, so not only do you need to create these processes, but you need to stick to them. And to stick to these processes and to stick to that one round of revision and, a timely responses in a timely manner, the best way I know how to make that all actually happen is to have amazing clients, okay? So the first step in having amazing clients is vetting your potential clients. Crazy important that you are very carefully making sure that your potential clients respect you, want you to be the expert, want you to run the project in the best manner that's efficient and gorgeous and going to give them the very best outcome, right? Not someone who's trying to tell you how to run your firm, not someone who's telling you how to price your firm, not someone who's telling you how you're going to be communicated with, right? Somebody who is open to the container that you are creating, which is your business, and to playing within that container for the best possible results, okay? That's who we're looking for. We're looking for the dream, right? So I'm going to give you guys, I want you to check it out, the exact script that I use to vet all my potential clients, to carefully select the dream clients that will actually allow me to use all my incredible efficient systems on them in a beautiful and it's a dance when it all works. It really is. It's so wonderful. Okay, so you can check that out at interiordesignstandard.com/dream, okay? And that's for dream clients. We only want to work with dream clients. That is the goal. All right, so I want you guys to all keep sharing, keep telling, keep sending me questions, whatever you need, right? My dream is that this industry improves and that we all rise together. I'll see you next time. Cheers, y'all.